Hey guys, and welcome to my completed pages for the month of January. I was a little disappointed that last month I only managed to color 18 pages, so this month I got to work and I managed to finish 38, so yay. I know, of course, it's not about the number you finish, but I like it. So yeah, I'm going to get right into the pages. So I really wanted to work a lot in all my Hachette books, the French color by number books. And I worked in all the small ones I had. So the first one here is the Bébé Animaux. And the page I finished is of this cute little goat here. And in these smaller books, I work mostly with acrylic paint pens. So like these, for example, these are by Artistro. I have a couple of different brands that I showed you in one of my shorts. So this is the first image for this month. Then I also worked in the Mystère Licorne. So this is of unicorns, and I finished this page here that I found pretty funny, of these puzzle-shaped unicorns, also done with acrylic paint pens. Then in the Cuties 50 Coloriage Mystère, I finished this cute little birdie. I don't know what happened with the acrylic paint pen in the back, but it looks streaky. It shouldn't look streaky, but yeah, I don't know. It was either my fault for not shaking the paint enough, or I don't know. But yeah, it is what it is. I actually shared this image also on my Instagram, so maybe you've already seen it. Then in the Mystère 50 Coloriage Inédit, which apparently means new. So here I finished this sunset silhouette with, I think it's supposed to be something like buffaloes. I'm not sure. Buffaloes don't exist anymore. They're extinct, I know, but something similar. I'm really not good with animal names. So here are the 50 Coloriage Mystère mini block, and I finished this pretty bridge page with the trees, taking that away. So yeah, all of these were done, as I said, with acrylic paint pens. And now we're getting into the bigger books. So the Les Grands Classiques tome 6, I finished her. I don't know what her name is because I haven't seen Brother Bear 2. She's from Brother Bear 2. And I used a mixture of just acrylic paint I got from a local store. And I mostly use this brand, the Liquitex Basic Acrylics. So in case you want to try that too, I really recommend those because they have a good, how should I put this, a good opaqueness. So usually 1 to 2 layers of the color is enough to cover up all the lines and numbers. So the next one in the Mickey, Donald & Co. That was a really simple one, but it was still a whip like forever. Like I did the background and then I just never worked on it again. But it's this just 3-color Mickey here. White, black, and gray. Then I also worked again in the Mandalas Coloriage Mystère, but again this time with acrylic paint pens because all these fine lines and patterns would be much harder with a brush, so having a pen is much easier. Then in Les Grands Classiques Cercle, I haven't worked in this in forever, it feels like. It was one of the first books I started working in consecutively, and then I don't know, maybe I got burned out a little or whatever. But I did finish these two here. I think it's Tweedledee and Tweedledum from Alice in Wonderland. Again with acrylic paint. Then I worked again in the Pixar. I had finished one last month in colored pencils. And this month I did Joy in acrylic paint. Love how her vibrant yellow skin and blue hair look against the black background. I also love the movie. And then in Sous l'Océan, this was also like a forever whip because I started. This is one of the very, very detailed books, as you can see, with the color palette. So I did not do that with acrylic paint. I did it with colored pencils. And I pressed way too hard, because look at this. Look at this texture here. This is violent. I am going to be more careful in the future, because it's not so bad with the very first image, because there is nothing, oops, there is nothing here in the back. But if I were to press that hard on a double page, it's wouldn't be good. So yeah, either I'm gonna press a lot lighter, or I'm just gonna go back to the acrylic paint pens. I don't know yet. We'll see. But I really love this book. It's just intimidating because the images are so detailed. And then in the new Ton les Héros versus Méchants, Heroes versus Villains, I actually did Jafar here. And this was actually a mixture. I used acrylic paint pens for the background to get the shapes of the pattern right. And then I used acrylic paint and a brush for the actual Jafar. I also feel like I kind of mixed his skin color a little too light. Looks a bit like he has vitamin deficiency in this picture, so yeah. But oh well, otherwise I like it. Otherwise it's okay. Yeah, love this book. Then in the Chiot et Chien, Dogs and Puppies, I just worked in order. And I finished this one, which is apparently from Peter Pan. I haven't seen the movie, but it says it's from Peter Pan. So yeah, I did that. And that was it for the Big Hachette books. I also did one in the Disney Love Stories, the very first one here. And they are pixel style. So yeah, I did this with acrylic paint pens. This is why the pixels look a lot more accurate than they would look with a brush. Then I did work a lot in a lot of Disney this month. So the Disney Coloriage Magique. Sorry for the glare. So I had done this already with acrylic paint, and it was honestly a bit of a hassle because it took almost as long as the big books. Even though the images are simple and have no shading, but because I had to draw all the lines, it was not what I intended. So this time I did this Winnie Pooh image, and as you can see, the color is not as opaque because I used the acrylic paint pens instead of the paint with the brush. But I don't mind. I still think it looks cute. So yeah. Then Chibi Witches by Coco Wair. I actually don't really, I didn't count those into the pages number because they're really just, how should I put this, elements. So I did the lettering, and I did the witch's head with the two little creatures. And I did this element here. And as you can see, I actually ripped out a page that only had text on it. I know some people would say, oh my god, sacrilege, don't rip out anything from your coloring books. But I really want to reduce my coloring books to only coloring pages. So I sometimes do rip out the pages if there is only writing on it. So yeah. Oh, what was that? Oh yeah, that was alcohol markers as a base, and then a little shading with colored pencils on top. Then in the Neko Girls by Coco Wair, I just did this one. I mean, this was so heavily grayscaled that it doesn't really count as much effort, in my opinion. I kind of tried to imitate the cover image a little, at least with her hair. I did change up the mushrooms a little here. I also posted this on my Instagram, so maybe you've seen it before. But yeah, I really need to work more in Coco Wair books because their books are so cute and so pretty. So yeah. And then, after saying in several videos, I really need to work more in... Oh, gee, the glare. I really need to work more in Camellia Angel Cova books. I actually finally did it. And I colored one more page. And it's this one. And I know I'm not very creative when it comes to backgrounds. This is just a very light purple metallic background to fill all the white space. And then I did the three ladies with different color variations. Like she has blue eyes and a purple mermaid tail, and she has a blue mermaid tail, she has purple eyes. I tried to have like a limited color palette. Not my best, but it's okay. It's always what it is, you know. And I mean, with the number of Camellia Angel Cova books I have, there is really enough room just to practice and also sometimes just kind of mess up an image. And then I worked again in David Woodruff's Stained Glass. Also haven't worked in it for a while. And I did this pic here of, I think it's irises. And just normal acrylic, not acrylic, alcohol markers, of course. Yeah, I kind of like it. So the next one, Stained Glass Mandalas. Also one of the books I work in in order and try pretty, you know, consecutively each month one image. And I did this one in this reddish brownish color palette. So one more done in there. Also, another artist in whose books I don't work enough is George Tufexis, and I recently got the birds color by number, and I did this little guy here, and then the very first page of the bald eagle. And I actually did a bit of a mistake, because I was coloring the sky while watching a movie, and then I just kept coloring because I thought this is part of the sky, but it's actually part of the cloud. So this should have been left white, but yeah, oh well, I still think it's okay. And since I own, I think, pretty much all of George Tufexis's books, I think there's enough room for errors, you know. And then this is one of the books I'm going to finish soon, because I have done so many, like 2 to 3 each month. And this month I did this one and that one. And I don't know if you can notice, but yeah, sometimes I just run out of colors. I'm currently working with 4 different sets of alcohol markers because certain colors just keep running out, but oh well, it is what it is. And then the Coloring Quest Animals. These books were one of the very first coloring books that I got, and I worked in them so much that I kind of had a burnout, and then I didn't work in them for a long time. But this month I finished this one, which is, I think, a boar with a funky coloring combination, but that's often the case in those books. Color by Number, Beautiful Patterns by Jade Summer, and I just did 2 images this month, this here and that here, with alcohol markers. Interesting color palette sometimes. Then the Circulism art books, another book series I don't really work enough in. So this is the Galapagos. I have all Circulism books by AJ Quinnell and all the non-Circulism that she started. She or he? Oh my god, I actually don't know. They released. So I finished this cute little crabby here. I like the blue variation in the background. Makes the crab really pop. Then in the Circulism Birds of the World, I did the very first one, and I really like in this book that they actually gave the name and a short description of the animal, because sometimes I color these pictures and I'm like, yeah, I mean, I can see it's a bird, but what bird? I'm really not that well informed when it comes to all the different animal species there are. Shame on me, because I always say I love animals. Oh well. The Color by Number Sea Life. And I think I did 2 in this. One, yes, I did this very colorful and vibrant jellyfish. And this, I think it's an orca. Also very, very colorful. Many, many different colors here. I like that. Circulism The Forest is another one. And I did this. And I'm not really sure what it is. I mean, when you kind of turn it around, it looks like a bird, but I don't know what this is. So, like, I mean, here is the beak, this is the eye, and then those are the wings, but I don't know. I had similar trouble with seeing an angelfish in one of the Pixel books. And people said, it's an angelfish, and I was like, oh, now I see it. So, if you know what this is, help me. I don't know. Then, Color by Number, Day Patterns. And I think I did, yep, this one. There was no color given for the background, so I left it that way. I thought about making it black, but then, yeah. I mean, I also now have the Night Pattern book with black background, so I thought, let's just leave it at that. So yeah, one more page in that. And then the Color by Number Art Animal Stencils. Also one of the books that I used to work consecutively in, and then I just completely forgotten about it. And I finished this one. And I explained that before. I also colored pages black that have a white background because I think it looks better. If you plan to do that, don't do the same mistake that I did and color the background first and then go over it with the alcohol markers, because Even when the acrylic paint pen has dried, it will smear. And I had this problem with a couple of images here, and I have regrets. So yeah, always do the alcohol marker part first, and then go over the background with the black acrylic paint pen, if you plan to do that. Then Color by Colors Autumn. I started with the Color by Colors books, also one of the first coloring books I got in November 2021 when I started coloring. But now I like Color by Number better, but I still work in them occasionally because they have really pretty images. Very colorful and vibrant. Then Stone Mosaic Book 2 by Belba Family. And I did this giraffe here. Not much to say about it. It's just very relaxing, mindless coloring while you are watching one of your favorite TV shows or some YouTube videos. And this is also one of the books I am looking to finish here. And I did 2 this month. I did this jewelry, the ring with the diamonds, and the Eiffel Tower in Paris with the 3 butterflies. Very nice. Also, I love this book. Love the concept of the different shapes and the varying line thickness. I think it makes for very interesting looking images, and I would love if Sun Life Drawing would release another book like this. So this month I did this bird and his baby, I assume bird. They have nothing to feed, but it looks like they're trying to feed them, but maybe they're just saying hi. So yeah, that was it. And then last but not least, The Mystery Colors Baby Animals, another book I would love to finish sometime and work consecutively in, and I did this turtle. So yeah, that was it. Thank you so much for spending a bit of time with me here and looking at my pages. And thank you, and I hope you have a wonderful day. Maybe see you in the next one. Bye.